Evening. Good evening, everyone. How are you tonight? It is outstanding to see a full ballroom at the Palmer House Hilton tonight. We are thrilled to be here to honor a phenomenal woman on the very last day of Women's History Month. I am Christian May Stewart, EVP, Head of Multicultural Intelligence at Leo Burnett, and Vice President of the Chicago Advertising Federation. Yes. I am joined here by my fellow CAF board member and Advertising Woman of the Year co-chair, Veronica Appleton. Veronica is Vice President of Talent Management and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the marketing arm, an Omnicom agency. We would like to begin the evening by thanking our event sponsors for their generous support of tonight's programming. First, Univision for live streaming our cocktail hour and tonight's event for those who could not join in person. The Weather Channel for sponsoring our event photographer. Pinterest for sponsoring our dessert. And a special thank you to our Advertising Woman of the Year event sponsors, Contastic, Disney Advertising Sales, Teads, and TikTok. Let's give them all a round of applause.
It's part of being short. There we go. We are thrilled to be here this evening and on the last day of Women's History Month to celebrate multiple phenomenal women in our industry. Let's start with a new recognition that we began last year, our Rising Stars Award. The CAF Rising Stars Award recognizes the talents and contributions of 4 next-generation women coming up in the marketing, sales, media, and advertising industries. They are the creators and innovators bringing fresh thinking, ideas, and execution to the industry, their company, and the Chicagoland community. The Rising Star awardees are the difference makers propelling their industry forward. And the criteria utilized to select these extraordinary women include those who have 5 to 15 years of experience in the marketing, media, or advertising industries, those who have also lived or worked in Chicago or remotely for a Chicago-based company for a minimum of 5 years, those who have contributed to their organization and community, those whose contributions have influenced and made a difference in the industry as well. I know we have some of our 2021 Rising Stars here with us tonight, and some of you may have seen them even on the red carpet earlier this evening. So at this time, I'd like our Rising Stars to please stand from 2021 to be acknowledged. That's Julie Whiting, Danny Jackson, Amina Kareem, and Neka Ude. Thank you, everyone. And now, Christian will present our first 2022 Rising Star.
Our first Rising Star is Kelsey Eliason. Kelsey is a Minneapolis native who's been working in the industry for over a decade. She is currently an associate creative director copywriter with ARC Worldwide, based in Chicago. She has been identified as a master copywriter and empathetic counselor who guides her teams with positivity and inclusivity. She merges her passion for people and communications. Her talents were at the heart and soul of Diageo's highly acclaimed Created by Craftswomen campaign, a Gold Effie and Reggie Award-winning effort built to inspire and educate consumers about the role and impact of female blenders and distillers. Kelsey is also proud board member of Conscious Mind, a business resource group at Publicis that promotes and advocates for mental well-being for over 2,000 employees. Kelsey also leads bi-weekly guided meditations and hosts the Publicis Group podcast, Unmute, where she holds honest and open discussions related to mental health and advertising and the marketing industry. Kelsey's mission is to help her team and other creatives feel supported, challenged, and seen through the mental hurdles that come with working in such a brain-based, high-performance industry as ours. Outside of work, Kelsey spends her free time learning pottery, making candles, and getting out in nature as often as possible. Congratulations, Kelsey. Let's give her a round of applause. Our second rising star is Lacey Gilbert. Lacey is a strategy director at Leo Burnett, specializing in data-driven creative concept development, trends analysis, and insights. She brings a passion for consumer insights and expertise in comms planning and social planning, as well as a cross-disciplinary knowledge from her background as a media buyer and planner to her work. She currently works on several CPG brands, as well as brands in the retail and alcoholic beverage space. But most recently, Lacey has been recognized and awarded for her strategic contribution on campaigns that were answering consumers' needs during the pandemic, specifically for Beam Suntory's Bourbon Time and Coors Light's Clone Machine. Lacey's passion and commitment also extends to mentorship and diversity, and it can be found at work and on her own time. She co-developed Strategy Launchpad, which is a how-to guide for people, both newbies and vets alike, who are curious about strategy and how to build their skills. And because of its popular demand and high efficacy, it is now embedded within the Leo Burnett employee training book. She is also a member and regular contributor to industry organizations like 4A's Multicultural Advertising Intern Program and the University of Illinois Department of Advertising Alumni Board. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Lacey Gilbert.
All right. Our third rising star is Anya Shanishny. So Anya is a media sales executive with 10 years of experience building strategic partnerships spanning programmatic, digital, social, influencer, experiential, and linear. Born and raised in Kyiv, Ukraine, Anya and her family immigrated to the United States in 1994. While much of her childhood was spent as an undocumented immigrant, Anya and her family proudly obtained their green cards in 2005 and their citizenships in 2012. Let's give it up for that. Growing up, she was inspired by American TV networks such as Nickelodeon, TV Land, and MTV. In addition to helping her improve her English, Anya's heavy consumption of the programming fueled the passion for the brands that launched her media career. Recently, she joined Paramount as an account executive of programmatic sales. She consults with Midwest clients, agencies, and DSPs to plan, execute, and optimize media across Paramount's iconic portfolio of brands. Over the last 5 years, Anya has served in 2 roles within the Chicago AdFed Young Professionals Committee. The first as an events co-chair to help drive program and event development, and the second as president in 2018 to champion young professionals' career development and leadership. Let's give it up for Anya. All right, and now our 4th and final rising star is Dominique Robinson. Dominique is a proud Chicago native and change agent who has spent the last decade building brands and relationships with some of our favorites like Kellogg's, Coca-Cola, NCAA Final Four, Mondelez, Oreo, Procter & Gamble, Allstate, and most recently, Kraft Heinz, to name a few. She formerly worked as Vice President Account Director at Leo Burnett and now serves as Brand Partnerships and Collaborations Lead for Kraft Heinz, North America and Canada. Dominique recently played a critical role in leading Jimmy Kimmel's Live in Front of a Studio Audience, Different Strokes, and Facts of Life integration that ran nostalgic retro-inspired spoof ads during the beloved 80s television sitcom remakes. I believe we all saw those shows, right? All right, known as a foodie for many, Dominique developed the Cooking Live with Lyric. It's a cooking class for working professionals to build confidence in the kitchen. And she partnered with several nonprofit organizations to help tackle food insecurity, encouraging families and embrace healthier food options and sponsored course options that pique the interests of many. Just a year ago, Dominique was also named to the class of 2021 for the 4A's Vanguard Fellows Program, dedicated to advancing the needs of Black talent in the industry and providing a framework for more diverse and inclusive leadership in the future. Thank you, Dominique, for all the work that you do. All right, so please stand and give all of our rising stars a round of applause. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Rising Stars. Another hand clap for them as they're leaving the podium. We believe that one of the reasons why Martha is being honored today is because she's paved the way for many other young women. Hi, Martha. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to celebrate our Rising Stars today. Now, before we introduce Marla's family and friends, Marla and the CAF want to take a moment to recognize our 2021 Ad Woman honoree, Lizette Williams. Lizette is a CAF board member, and she served as board president in 2018 and currently chairs the CAF's Diversity Thought Leaders Council. She's the proud mother of 2 special guests this evening, Charlie and Olivia Williams. Hi. And also serves as global head of vertical solutions marketing at Meta.
Now, as our 2021 Ad Woman of the Year, Lizette's celebration was held via Zoom due to the pandemic. But anyone who is fortunate and lucky enough to know Lizette knows that it was still a party, right? But I think we all know that it's much better to be back amongst our friends and our colleagues in person. So let's take a moment for Lizette to hear a very long overdue round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2020 Advertising Woman of the Year, Lizette Williams.
Wow, it feels so good to be in this room with you guys. My first industry event in forever. So I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for the recognition. I am deeply humbled and honored to be named the 2021 Chicago Advertising Woman of the Year and to follow in the long legacy of women who have made a tremendous impact on our industry. So I just want to take a moment and pause. If you are a former Chicago Advertising Woman of the Year, I would like to take this moment to have those people recognized and to please stand up if you are a former Ad Woman of the Year. I can't tell you how deeply humbled I am to see Carla and E.T., two women that created a path for me for which I would not even be standing here speaking if it wasn't for them. And so when I talk about a long legacy of tremendous women that have driven impact, that's what I mean. And that's why I wanted to recognize them and the work that they've done for us to even be here and for the industry to be where it is today, because it is because of them that I'm standing up here today. So thank you to the both of you. So we talk about legacy. I am especially overjoyed to share this recognition and this moment with my two children, Charlie and Olivia. I know you guys are like, it's crazy to bring your kids in here. I'm having like 3 glasses of wine tonight, all the wine. Just keep sending them over, y'all. Just keep sending them over. You guys are my heart and my legacy, and I just thank you so much for everything, and more than anything for sharing me with the industry. A lot of you know, people see all the external work, but they don't see the sacrifices that your family has to make a lot of times when you're not there. And so those 2 kids have made it possible for me to drive impact and have been more than understanding when mom has had to be out in the world driving that impact. The ad industry, and specifically the Chicago advertising industry, has become home for me. And so that makes this an even more special honor to talk about being Chicago's Ad Woman of the Year. As many of you know, or if you talk to me for 5 minutes, I am originally from New York City, the Bronx to be exact. And I've been in Chicago the last 17 years and built an entire career here. Started as an MBA student at Northwestern, PepsiCo, Kimberly-Clark, McDonald's, and now Meta is home. I love this city and I love this industry. I've wanted nothing but to make tremendous change in our industry, to shift how people of color are depicted in the media, to transform the lack of diversity in the industry, to mentor and coach young women and BIPOC people to come up behind me. At every juncture, this industry has supported me and provided me with incredible opportunities. And most importantly, it was this industry that made me realize what I wanted to be when I grow up: an activist, an innovator, and one day a CMO. So here we are. It is extremely humbling to be recognized for my work, my life's work, and I can't thank you enough. And I am thrilled tonight to pass the torch to Marla as our next Ad Woman of the Year. Marla, a dear friend and an industry colleague, someone who I've known a long time, who I've worked alongside in the trenches, advocating for equity and appropriate representation of our diverse consumers. I could not think of a better or more deserving person for Advertising Woman of the Year. Congratulations, Marla. I am absolutely thrilled to share this journey with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Lizette, for all that you do for our city, our board, and our industry to make it a more inclusive place. So next up, we have a very special treat from Marla's team at Ford, and they rounded up some of your favorite people to put together this video tribute. So please roll the video.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be a part of this tribute to my amazing mother. She is our hero, our inspiration. Mom, you are such a special person, and we really wanted everyone to get to know you better. So we recruited a group of your closest friends to answer some questions and help us learn. What makes Marla, Marla? My mom has a lot of hobbies, but not so much free time. So when she finally does have a little downtime, she loves to A, practice her belly dancing, B, paint her dog's toenails, or C, hang out with friends and family.
C. Definitely. Marla loves her family. She loves her friends. No doubt.
Definitely C.
That's correct. If Marla had a personal motto, would it be A, it's actually not happy hour somewhere, it's happy hour everywhere. B, stand back, I'm going to dance. Or C, stay true to who you are, no matter who you are.
Stand back, I'm gonna dance.
I agree.
Sorry guys, that's wrong. The correct answer is actually C, but you know what? I consulted the judges and they think it's both B and C. Marla and some colleagues are also lifelong friends who meet every year for a beach getaway. What do they call themselves? A, Marla and the Mai Tais. B, Bronze Booty Brigade. Or C,
Where it's coming from. Sorry, Haley.
C, the Sandy Toes.
Sandy Toes.
C,
Sandy
C,
Toes.
C. Sandy Toes. That's an easy one.
Mom, you really are the best. Congratulations on being named Chicago Ad Woman of the Year.
I'm so glad that Chicago has finally caught on that Marla is the best. Congratulations, Marla.
Just want to say thank you for what you do for us, your leadership, your guidance.
Congratulations, Marla.
Marla, congratulations on this amazing accomplishment.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Marla.
Congratulations.
Marla, congratulations on your award for Advertising Woman of the Year.
Congratulations, Marla.
Congratulations.
Hey, Marla, congratulations.
Huge congratulations for everything you've achieved in the industry.
It's a pleasure to work with you. Congratulations.
Marla, congratulations.
I can't think of anyone more deserving to be named Ad Woman of the Year.
Thank you for everything and congratulations.
Marla, congratulations on this wonderful honor.
Congratulations on your award.
Thank you for being such an amazing leader.
Cheers to you.
Felicidades, enhorabuena, te lo mereces.
Thanks so much for all that you do for our Ford family.
Congratulations, Marla.
Congratulations to an awesome partner and an awesome leader.
Thank you for being the most fun traveling partner ever.
Hey, Marla, congratulations. What an awesome award. Chi-Town got this one right.
Congratulations, Marla.
Congratulations, Marla. I can't think of a better person and more deserving than you to be Chicago's Ad Woman of the Year. Thank you for your passion and for your incredible leadership.
So how about that? Jimmy showed up. Thank you to everyone who participated in that tribute and to the Ford team for producing. Now, please join me in welcoming to the stage Marla's first speaker of the evening, Monica Gatsby, CEO of Publicis Group Latin America.
Thank you. See, Veronica, you needed to leave it down for me. All right, a little bit of light. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. All right, here we go. Trailblazer. That's the word that I believe best describes Marla Skyko as an advertising professional. A trailblazer has vision. A trailblazer is fearless. A trailblazer is relentless in her pursuit and prepares the way for others to follow. All things Marla has done for as long as I've known her. Marla and I began working together in 1999. This was the time when media agencies were asserting their independence. So for perspective, Starcom was founded in the year 2000. At the time, Marla brought with her a wealth of experience managing large accounts for what was then Leo Burnett Media. In fact, she recently reminded me that her first role at Leo Burnett was to steward all syndication buys for General Motors, at a time when television ruled and Lotus 123 was our tool of choice. Now, my purpose with this reference is by no means to dwell on our age, but to set a context for where we were and what we knew when we began working together. As the agency prepared to launch Starcom, Marla and I were part of a small team charged with the launch of Starcom Hispanic. This small team would forge a lifelong friendship. In fact, we're all here to celebrate Marla tonight. And I will say more about that in a bit, but for now, let's just continue with some further context. In the late 90s, Hispanics represented the fastest growing segment of the US population, outnumbering all other segments in new births and gaining strength through continued immigration. It was the first time in US history that a group of immigrants preserved its culture and language as they simultaneously embraced the best of American culture. Hispanics represented a sizable opportunity for marketers based on their numbers, but a complex and tricky one as well, based on their ability to seamlessly navigate two cultures. Not surprisingly, the small team of Leo Burnett leaders charged with deciphering the US Hispanic opportunity then were all bilingual and bicultural. Well, all except for Marla. Yet, as a trailblazer, Marla embraced the charge arguably with more passion than the rest of all of us combined. As a petite brunette, she fit in with ease, and it wasn't very long before she began presenting to clients, referring to Hispanics as we, getting into the intricacies of the culture that differentiated us, and building a business case for the significant return on investment to be had for those who captured our loyalty. In fact, some Spanish language media partners began to mistakenly address Marla as Maria Esquico, an identity that she happily embraced as she successfully converted more clients and more brands to the opportunity. Now, by the year 2005, we had grown our team to more than 100 experts. We expanded our scope to include all multicultural segments, and we launched Tapestry, a brand that would quickly become the leading multicultural agency in the US, with revenue exceeding $50 million. The challenge then was bringing rigor to the opportunity, as multicultural marketing lacked proper and consistent measurement. But we were not deterred. Our team focused on bringing science to the art, looking at new ways to understand diverse perspectives from within, while quantifying multicultural contribution to media and business goals. It wasn't an easy pitch necessarily, but Marla always delivered it with poised eloquence. And then came the digital age, bringing even greater fragmentation and complexity to multicultural media. Marla was by no means a digital native, but her ability to transform meant she to be the perfect candidate to lead multicultural digital media for Tapestry. In true trailblazer form, Marla began to effortlessly navigate the digital maze, identifying gaps and insisting on the need for better multicultural content and measurement. Marla quickly recognized that programmatic and personalization at scale would be the answer that we had been waiting on for so many years, the opportunity to better cater to individual preferences and cultural nuances across the language spectrum for a very complex multicultural consumer market. It's no surprise that a few years later, as multicultural became the new majority, and we began referring to the so-called general market as a new total market, Marla went on to become the head of precision for Starcom. Now, a trailblazer is fearless. Marla was never afraid to tackle any new challenges and always really excited to learn something new. That's why when one day a headhunter called me to say that Ford Motors was looking for its first ever global media director, I knew that Marla would be the perfect candidate. I also knew that Ford's gain would be our loss, but Marla was ready to blaze new trails, and so without giving it a second thought, I recommended her for the job, and well, the rest is history. So, from syndicated television to multicultural marketing to digital expert to global media director, a pretty exciting career path. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, the part of the story that all could witness. What truly made Marla a trailblazer was her ability to balance work and family so seamlessly. COVID has changed the way that we think about flexible work, but Marla maintained a flexible work schedule for years while her kids were growing up. She presumably only worked 3 days a week, but the truth is, she never missed a key meeting or a key deadline, and somehow she made it seem really easy to juggle multiple tasks and hold multiple conversations simultaneously. She understood the power of smartphones when BlackBerry was market leader. She knew when and where lines needed to be drawn, and yet her presence was always felt. To the younger generations at Tapestry, Marla was seen as a luminary. You saw many of them congratulating her on the video. A luminary, a source of motivation and inspiration. She could always make the complex easy with her simple yet insightful explanations. She led by example, fostering a culture of collaboration and unity. Simply put, she was a valued mentor to many who went on to have really successful careers at the agency, as media partners, or as a client. To me, the biggest testament to the unique culture we had at Tapestry is the fact that to this day, there is a very large community of so-called Tappies who are still very much in touch. Our focus on collaboration paved the path for long-standing friendships. Many Tappies now have families of their own, and Marla's example is still held up by them as the one they follow in juggling work and family responsibilities. And now, speaking of lifelong friendships, let me go back to where I started. As an industry, we have always strived to promote female leadership. It is also true that we have struggled to cultivate female leaders at the highest levels. So much has been written about it, from creating work environments that foster more diversity to building a culture of stronger allies. It is recognized that women, more often than men, do double duty, leading at work and leading at home. This became painfully evident in the last 2 years, with COVID forcing so many women to consider leaving or downshifting their careers. Some refer to it as the pandemic she-cession, as the lines between work and home blurred and women found it more difficult to strike a balance. Now, I don't presume to have the answer, and I certainly know that there is no one-size-fits-all cure to the bleeding. However, I do want to highlight a very unique dynamic that we championed at Tapestry, which I know has been key in the success of a small group of women, including Marla. We supported each other always and unconditionally. We survived the ups and downs of business life together. Wins and losses, economic booms and economic recessions, new trends, new tech, new ways of working. But we also worked as a team on a more personal level, from childbirth to childcare, teenagers' angst and college applications, loss of a parent, divorces, and moves. We supported each other. We were each other's unrelenting allies well before the term became trendy. Today, two things are true. First, we have all taken different paths, but we're all still thriving as leaders. Second, we still have each other's backs. We share stories and photos, we ask for each other's advice, and we celebrate each other's every single day through our WhatsApp group. Swear to God. And we make a point of getting away together once a year to refuel, preferably at a beach destination, which is why we appropriately do call ourselves the Sandy Toes Society. That's corny, perhaps, but to us, Sandy Toes is where we found our inspiration to continue blazing new trails. So Marla, today we honor you, our Sandy Toes friend with the biggest smile and most generous heart. It has been my privilege to work with you and to grow professionally along your side. Thank you for being a friend, and thank you for being an inspiration to so many. Congratulations on being Chicago's Ad Woman of the Year. I can't wait to see what new trails you will blaze next, but I do know this, that whatever they are, your Sandy Toes friends will be right there supporting you and celebrating you always. Love you, Marla.
That was beautiful, Monica, and thank you so much. Our next speaker has been working closely but remotely with Marla for the past 2 years at Ford Motor Company. Please join me in welcoming Karna Crawford, Head of U.S. Marketing for Ford.
Well, first, let me say, I totally agree with Lizette. I'm so excited to be out here in public with physical people celebrating a wonderful woman. Man, these lights are bright. Second, let me also give a huge shout out to WPP because you guys came correct with that video. Appreciate you. And then third, I haven't been in Chicago in a long time, since back when I was basically a kid in the industry and Starcom IP was my agency. And it's legit how deep Publicis is rolling tonight. So let me first ask, for any of you old schoolers, does anybody remember this old school song by a group called The Lox that goes like, I need a ride, a guy, chick? Anybody remember this? Okay. Some of you may be too young, but has anybody out here ever had a ride or die? Exactly. They're that person that you can always count on to deliver. The person that has your back no matter what. They support your goals. They whisper little truths in your ear when you need to hear them and you don't even know it. They are deeply loyal and vigilantly focused on delivering results. So for me, in my new role at Ford, Marla has been my ride or die. Now, Marla and I knew each other before we worked together at Ford, but her role as a leader and a partner in our time together has truly been like ride or die like no other. Marla is special. She can be the productive workhorse that endlessly produces and don't even know how she makes the hours in the day. And the media and ad technology innovator that challenges status quo and challenges the norm every single time she steps up to the plate. Also, she can be the leader that not only drives her team, but inspires them beyond belief, while all the while also being an absolutely wonderful human being, amazing woman, inspiring beacon, and a loving mom to amazing kids. Who also have a great sneaker game. And daughter to an amazing woman who I'm so excited is able to be out of COVID lockdown for like 2 years. That is Marla. She is truly just that special. Now, at Ford, as some of you may know, we are going through a massive transformation. It is epic. The type of transformation where you're literally changing absolutely everything that we do every day, bar none. And as all of that is happening, it is a thrilling journey that at the same time brings out absolutely the best and the total worst of everybody that we work with all the time. The emotions run hot. And then there's Marla, who even keeled, no matter how high the heat is, supportive to everybody in both their lows and their highs, there to make sure that everybody wins every single time. That is Marla. She is the leader that orchestrates her wonderful team here with us. And this journey remarkably. Marla is the advertising mind and leadership partner who every leader wants to have by their side. And I am so much better as a leader myself because she is by my side. She's my ride or die. So Marla, thank you for being you, for being so special, and thank you for being a part of our amazing Ford family. Congratulations for an absolutely amazing job.
Thank you, Karna. That was outstanding. So tonight's celebration is especially meaningful because not only is Marla surrounded by past colleagues, current coworkers, peers, and her friends, she is also here flanked by her family. And anyone who knows Marla knows how much she values and prioritizes her family. So please put your hands together for our next speaker, Marla's mom, Betty Stein.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not accustomed to a microphone. I'm accustomed to about 25 high school kids in the classroom, but not a whole room full like this. So I hope I can pull this one off, especially after two outstanding speeches. So I start with good evening. I'm delighted to be here to help celebrate one of my favorite people ever, and happy to see so many of you here with me to join me in applauding and congratulating Marla on her accomplishments. It's a great way to end the month of March. I came here tonight not only to applaud Marla for her accomplishments in the field of advertising, but as her mother, to brag about her. I think I'm the best person to brag about Marla because I've known her from minute one and can attest to how wonderful she is. I have the more personal, the home type stuff and not the business because I haven't gone to work with her. Marla is not only my daughter, but my friend. I admire her strength, not only as a woman, but as a dedicated and talented employee. Wherever Marla has worked, she's given the job her all. She's smart, dedicated, capable, and honest. And that's a true mother bragging. Let's start at the beginning. I hope this doesn't embarrass you. Marla, as an infant, was off to a rocky start. She was my firstborn and my only colicky baby. What was known about colic back then? As a young mom with her firstborn, what did I know? Certainly not enough. And the medical profession had not advanced enough to know much more or to help me out. Gratefully, got to get to the right page here. Gratefully, that stage was short-lived. When Marla was a young girl, she was able to rally her sisters and to boss them at the same time. One July 4th, when our neighborhood had a parade, she used the theme of the parade and decided that her sisters would be the Jack and King of Hearts, and she would be the Queen. I think a lot of firstborns might recognize themselves here. That said, she was always capable and able to be a big help as the oldest sister. Once she hit her teens, the more mature Marla emerged. She was always a good student with an increasing passion and drive for excellence. I never had to worry about her grades, who she was friends with, or how she conducted herself away from home. Her high school and college years flew by, and she was on her own before I was prepared for this life event. Marla doesn't have a long list of places where she's worked. She's a loyal employee who makes changes when she feels the time is right for that change. She's personable and makes friends wherever she goes, as you can tell from listening to people who work with her. I'm delighted that in addition to family, 3 of her closest college friends are here tonight. Yay! Sarah, Lisa, and Toby, plus longtime close work friends from Publicis and newer wonderful work friends from Ford. We're only missing 2 people tonight. Marla's dad passed away a long time ago, and her best friend of 31 years, Diane, who you probably might not have seen the picture, but she was in a gown when they graduated high school. She passed away in 2009. They were friends for 31 years. As all of the men and women mentioned above have become family and are truly loved as family. Speaking of family, there are 3 things Marla has done that deserve special recognition, even though it's not career related. She made me a grandma to 3 fabulous people who I love to the max. That's Haley, who you've seen up on the screen, Matthew and Danielle. I don't know if it's hard always being the 3rd one, Danielle, because you're the youngest, but that's how it was when I was growing up. My brother was David, and it was always David and Betty, David and Betty. You get used to it, I guess. Marla has been a superb role model for them. You'll get to see for yourself tonight. I think you get my message. You don't need a long list of life events to see that Marla is a quality person. She's very deserving of tonight's distinction, and I couldn't be more proud of her for this. Got to try not to well up here, and for always being at the other end of the phone call. I love her with all of my heart and feel fortunate and blessed that my favorite woman in advertising calls me Mom.
So let's give Miss Betty Stein another round of applause. And let's also give all the moms in the room another round of applause. I told my mom that I wouldn't do that because she's sitting right there. That was a beautiful tribute, and thank you so much again, Miss Betty Stein. So next up, we have three people who have likely caused Marla, please forgive me, Marla, the most strife, tears, heartache, and joy in her life. Her kids. Haley, Matthew, Danielle, bring us home.
Alrighty. As women, our ideas and work ethic are oftentimes undermined and second-guessed. Sometimes it's due to people thinking that we're over-emotional, and we oftentimes have to run around to try and prove to people that we can make the impossible possible. The way that I grew up, I walked through every single door knowing that I would get what I want, when I want, no matter how hard I had to work for it. That I would push boundaries, I would test limits, and I would do anything possible to succeed and hit the goals that I could see possible for myself. Now, as much as I would like to fully credit that on me, I cannot. I would have to credit that a lot to my mother, Marla Skyko. I grew up not only getting to see a woman bust through every single door and situation with new ideas, ways to analyze things unlike any other, and a woman who strives with the belief that no matter what we do, we lead with energy and positivity. I also got to see the woman that cries, that laughs, that smiles, and that enters doors of support for people when they are at their lowest and at their highest. I've gotten to see her through friendships, through divorce, through having kids, and me being the first. And oldest daughter to oldest daughter, I will say that I think we are the best. And I would like to just say that not only do I have the pleasure of being able to grow up and sit in on your meetings and analyze how you think about things and push myself because of you, but I am an empath and I am a better woman every single day that I wake up because I think about the way that you push yourself every single day. That through the times of teenage years and crying to you because you won't let me go see that boy late at night, to being able to go to college and make you proud every single day that I push myself to get the degree, to get the goal, to make that hit, and to get where I want to go. I know that you're not only by my side, but you're honest with me, that you're true with me, and that you not only raised me to be a daughter, but to be a best friend. That I will look back every single day for the rest of my life and wonder, how is Marla doing? What is she doing? And how can I emulate, continue to be inspired, and continue to live through the legacy of what you have created? Seeing all of these people here tonight reminds me that you are not only the woman that was able to push boundaries in career and show up in every business meeting with a way to get things done, but that you showed love, that you showed care, and that you strode through every single situation knowing that you wanted to make yourself and those around you a better person. Now, I'm trying to get this thing in about 10 years, but you keep setting the bar a little too high. So if we could calm down a little bit, that would be awesome. But I will continue to push myself every single day, no matter what it takes, because I know that not only am I showing up today for myself and my friends and my family, but I am showing up to continue to acknowledge, learn, and be educated by the smartest woman that I have ever met in my life, my mother, Marla Skyko. I love you.
Thank you, Haley. Now, when I was writing this, I thought it was good, but after listening to everyone talk, I'm not so sure anymore. But that's all right. Hello, everyone. I'm Matthew. I'm the one son. I'd like to start by congratulating my mom. This is a huge accomplishment, and being recognized for something like this is something that few and some very talented people get to experience. I'm a marketing student myself here in Chicago at UIC, if anybody. Yeah. And I've always been super fascinated with my mom's work life because of this. Now, most of my life, my mom would commute to downtown Chicago and work in an office building downtown. But recently when the pandemic hit, not only was everyone forced to work from home, but my mom was also entering a new position with Ford. During this time, I was a freshman at a local community college where we live in the suburbs, and I also lived at home with my mom, and she would work in our dining room as our home office because we didn't really have a ton of designated space. I don't know if she knows this, but due to these circumstances, I would sometimes sit in the kitchen or like an area where she was working and really just listen to the conversations and meetings she was having to gain a better understanding of what she does on a daily basis, because I didn't really get to experience that when she worked downtown. Through doing this, not only did I gain an understanding of concepts that I would use for my profession in the future, but I got a real sense of how my mom operates as a leader, as a team member, and as a role model. I remember her talking about the profound responsibility she was going to have to take on at her new position at Ford. She was going to have to oversee a large team of people, be in and out of meetings every day, and work her butt off more than she ever had before. I could tell that she was anticipating a big step up, but also preparing the best that she could. After listening to her talk over Zoom for hours on end, I can confidently say that no one deserves this award more than my mom. Genuinely. She's compassionate when speaking to anyone. She shows a genuine sense of kindness and care to those that she works with. And when she's making a point and arguing her side to a problem, she speaks with conviction and always fights to find the most adequate solution. She not only handed the upgraded responsibility, but excelled in an area of marketing she wasn't 100% sure she was ready to take on. Every day, I'm so impressed by all that she does on such a consistent basis. I couldn't be more happy to have someone like her to look up to and have as a parent. I love you, Mom, with all my heart. Enjoy tonight, and once again, congratulations.
Guys, I'm gonna cry. Hi, I'm Danny. I'm the youngest, and I can completely disagree with the oldest being the best comment because it's not true. It makes me so happy to see everyone here tonight celebrating my gorgeous mother. And for the 17 years that I've known her, she has always been a hustler, like everyone has mentioned before me. And in her Capricorn nature, she is a Capricorn. She has goals to achieve and expectations to exceed at all times. And honestly, sometimes I really wonder if she has like a discreetly implanted artificially intelligent chip, like helping her out. But she's terrified of needles, so that would never happen. Since I can remember, my mom always made sure that I knew that there is nothing in this world that I can't do. There was never a question of my potential, and she's the epitome of leading by example with this. In a world where women have to work twice as hard to get half as far, this woman has made such incredible, impressive leaps and bounds. She is assertive, witty, strong, and graceful all at the same time. Femininity in our society is often equated to fragility and delicacy and beauty. And I never understood that ever, because in my home, femininity was always modeled by strength and power and determination and intelligence. She's never shown me anything else. She has never shown me anything different of femininity. And she's continually shown me that if there's something that you want in life, you have to go after it. You are accountable for your own well-being, your own happiness. You are responsible for achieving your own goals. And she has unknowingly gifted me the independence that I carry myself with today. It makes me so beyond proud to see my mom getting recognition for her career's accomplishments, which, as we've heard tonight, are extensive. But it makes me even more proud that she somehow managed 3 teenagers in the process. You would think that with all her crazy work obligations, which never seem to diminish in their chaos, that it would be hard for her to keep up with her kids' lives. But she has never, ever failed to show me through her words and actions every single day how much she loves me, how invested she is in the things going on in my life, and how much she cares. I don't think there are words strong enough to express the gratitude I have for you, Mom, but I'm gonna try. Thank you. Thank you for getting me through some of my darkest times, truthfully. Thank you for showing me that there really is nothing limiting me in this world but myself. Thank you for always keeping an open mind, always wanting to learn, and always trying to understand me. Thank you for showing me how far ingenuity and a little bit of girl power can take you. And you are the most hardworking, insightful person I have ever met by far. And it is no surprise to me that everyone here views you similarly. You are my biggest inspiration and you are my hero. Te amo mucho. Thank you.
So can we get another round of applause for everyone who spoke on Marla's behalf tonight? Thank you to all of our speakers for enumerating who Marla is and why she is so deserving of this recognition.
One more time. The criteria for this distinguished award are as follows: the contributions that she has made to her company, her contributions to the greater advertising community, her individual accomplishments, both personal and professional, her contributions to the development of others. Tonight, Marla joins a very distinguished list of professionals who have received this honor in the past. And we are so thrilled that many of our 2021 recipients were also able to join us, and also past year's recipients.
So we know we're all here to celebrate Marla, but we have one other surprise for you, Marla. I have a very official document here from the office of the mayor of the city of Chicago. And it has a lot of official writing in it. But the most important thing that we all want to know is that this is a proclamation from the office of the mayor, and it is a celebration that says our mayor, Lori Lightfoot, has declared today, March 31, 2002, Marla Skyko Day in the city of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our 64th Chicago Advertising Federation Ad Woman of the Year, Marla Skyko. Put your speech down. Let us give you this. So you can take a picture.
Okay, sounds good. Put this right here. Thank you. Oh my, wow. Holy cow. That I did not expect. I mean, this whole night is amazing, and that is just an extra layer. Thank you, thank you. I don't even know how you acknowledge something this fantastic. I mean, I really don't even know. I'm going to give it a try. This room is tremendous. How happy are we that we're together, that we're in person? I mean, it feels so good to be in a room with so many people I've worked with for so long. And the number one thing I'm feeling is gratitude. You know, thank you so much to the Chicago Ad Federation. This is a tremendous organization. These people kill it. This is the most organized, well put together event I've ever seen in my life. And on top of it, it represents the strength and the power of the ad community here. And everybody in this room, whether you're from Chicago or not, this is something to be admired, bringing us all together, making this industry feel powerful and strong, especially at a time where we haven't been together and it hasn't felt the same. This is such a great coming back party, I feel like. And for me to be at the middle of it, I'm just truly, truly lucky. And I feel unbelievably grateful. So there's going to be a lot of gratitude up here, a lot of gratitude that I have to get to. But I thought I would start with a little bit of a story of how this all started. So this started many years ago. I've lived in Chicago almost my whole life, but I wanted to move somewhere different. I wanted to live somewhere different. And I didn't want to only live in Chicago. I was like, Chicago's always going to be my home, but I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go move out to San Francisco. But the way that started is this lovely, beautiful woman in the front row here, my roommate from college, she calls me and she says, listen, I'm living with my brother and it's like a frat house out here in Sunnyvale, California. You have got to save me. Can you please quit your job? You don't like retail anyway. You have a marketing degree. Let's go do something else. Come on out to San Francisco. I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. I need to try something new. So I packed up my car and I was getting ready to head out and drive across the country. And I remember that day vividly. My mom wasn't there. She couldn't say goodbye. That was too hard for her. So my dad was there. And my dad is not very good at expressing himself emotionally, not at all. He kept everything inside. He did not give, he had a very hard time expressing from the heart. But I remember those words that day. And his words said, stay true to you, keep that fire burning in you, never let them change you, and always do what feels best inside for you. And I was like, oh my God, whoa. I mean, that was amazing. And I will keep that. And Dad, I love you and thank you. And I got in my car and I drove across the country and I showed up in San Francisco. I didn't have a job. And I got connected to someone in Foote Cone and Belding. And I did an informational interview. It didn't really go anywhere, but I got connected with HR and I spoke to a woman. I called them up and I'm on the phone. I wasn't in person. And I said, I want to be an account executive. I don't know what that is. I'm like, I don't know. It sounds like something I want to do. I mean, it's associated with creatives. That's what you do in advertising agencies, right? And she said, you know what? We don't have any account executive positions available, but we do have an assistant media planner position. I was like, ooh, okay, thanks. Goodbye. I call back the next morning. Hi, my name's Marla. I'm calling to talk to you about that assistant media planner position you have available. And that's how I stumbled into media. Didn't even know what it was. But I was like, hey, I need to get a job. I'm out here in San Francisco. This is an expensive city. I have to work. So that's how I stumbled in. And unbelievably and unbeknownst to me, I started in the industry that we have around us amongst the most dynamic, passionate, driven people that we all are. And I've never looked back since. I've been absolutely thrilled. It was a great decision. And it as you've heard from people that I have worked with, it's been a perfect place for me to be among people that just friends and family and amazing coworkers. So let's get back to the gratitude and the thank yous, because I feel like so much has been said about me that tonight that it's overwhelmingly my desire to say thank you back to you. So I start with my Publicis family. There's so many of you here tonight, and it's funny that we haven't seen each other in such a long time, but I feel like I saw you yesterday. It is so amazing to see you here. I mean, I think we shouldn't be surprised when you put a bunch of really talented, vibrant people in a room. You work for 80 some hours. You stay up really late at night. You're striving for brilliance. You don't stay just coworkers. You become lifelong friends. And that's how I feel about so many of you. And to everything that Monica said, oh my goodness, the being a strong woman leader in this industry, if I've always aspired to that. And if that's what I am, it is only because I have spent time side by side with strong, powerful, passionate women leaders. And when we built teams, we were inspired by them and they inspired us. And really, when I think back particularly about Tapestry, all it makes me think about is planting some seeds and they grew into a field of flowers. Monica, thank you so much for your kind and wonderful words. I wouldn't be up here without you. And I can only thank you so much, not just for the mentorship, but for your unbelievable and ongoing friendship. Thank you so much. My Ford family, thank you for driving from Detroit, Michigan. Woo! And also for flying, not just the driving, but this is a pretty strong room for Detroit, I have to say. Detroit is showing up strong here today. So, you know, Ford is a family company, as we all know. And honestly, you feel that from day one. I started in January of 2020 at Ford, and I wouldn't meet anybody. I mean, I had 8 weeks. I had 8 weeks from January through the middle of March, and then we all know. And I didn't meet almost anybody. But that really is surprising to me because it feels like a family right away. Everyone at Ford spends their time trying to lean in, trying to help, trying to collaborate. We know great work only comes from being in it together. I felt that immediately. And it's funny to me, so many people that I haven't yet met in person, because I would never know that. It absolutely feels like family. And if you ask any of us in this room, what do we love the most about where we work and being in this industry? What's the thing we love the most? The people. That's the answer. And it's never more true than it is at the Ford Motor Company. And I am unbelievably fortunate to work with such tremendously talented people. But going beyond that, not only tremendously talented, but kind, caring, really human people that I would be friends with even if we didn't work together. Thank you for being the phenomenal team that you are. I am so happy that we're in it together. It makes everything so much better. Karna, I literally can't thank you enough for your support. You leaned into this from the word go without any questions asked. I know how much effort you put into making this day special. I can't thank you enough for that. You make people a priority. That's why people love being on your team and love working for you. That took me 30 seconds to learn. I signed on for Ride or Die day one. I'm so lucky to work with you and to learn from you every single day. Thank you so much for those wonderful words. Team Mindshare and WPP. I know you're out there. You guys are out in force. Woo! Thank you guys. Thank you so much for showing up here. I felt the love and support all day, the messages, the text, the email. You guys are incredible for showing up here. I know none of you, I think everyone had to travel. Thank you so much for doing that. You guys are incredible, not just today, but partners all the time. Really could not do it without you. Thank you so much. Okay, family. You're really testing me. You're trying to get this makeup that I spent all this time getting done, like running down my face. I'm doing my best to keep it under control. I'm sad that my sister Pam couldn't make it tonight. She's at home and not feeling well. Her phenomenal husband, Steve, is here. Thank you, Steve, for coming and for bringing my mom. Pam's amazing. She was in this industry for many years. She found her true calling in nursing, and she completely reinvented herself over the age of 40. Inspiring, incredible, and I look up to her, even though I'm the older sister, but let's just say she's the older sister. It's all good. It's fine. Let's go with that. So thank you, Steve, for coming, and we're giving Pam a remote hug. My kids, Wow. You guys are just, I don't even know what to say. You guys are impressive beyond measure. I'm going to try to do my best, no crying here, to express the unexpressible, which is to even articulate how much I love you, how endlessly proud I am of you every single day. You guys live your lives with such zest, such joy. And some of this is the striving. I love that I've embedded the striving, but really what I love is your caring and your kindness towards the people in your life, towards your family that you put first, towards your friends, and overwhelmingly towards each other. You treat each other with kindness. You look out for each other. You have each other's back. That brings me endless amounts of joy. I could literally go on all night long about how much I love you and how you make me feel. Nothing comes close. I love you three. Okay, my mom. Mom, whoa. That was incredible, incredible. I mean, the many wonderful, thoughtful words I have heard are so humbling to describe me, you know, in that video and what things have been said tonight and leading up to this event. The only thing I can tell you is if there is any way that I am that generous or thoughtful or kind, it is because I have learned from the most generous, thoughtful, and kind person that there is. I learn by example. Mom, I mean, there are not enough words for me to do on this stage either to express how much I love you. You and Dad instilled in me, both of you being teachers, it's the reason that I have a love of learning and an intense curiosity about life. You brought that to me. You also ensured I would never start any sentences, me and. And I'm very grateful for that. I have you to thank for my communication skills. We have a very special relationship. We are in it together. You are my most important person. You are my first phone call. If anything happens, it doesn't become real until you and I break it down and we hash it out and we go through it together. I know this was not easy for you to come here tonight. You haven't been in this many people in a long time. My heart is so happy that you are here. And because you are here, this all becomes real. I love you. So a lot of people have talked about the next phase of my story, and what really stands out about my path, I guess, is that I did make a pretty momentous decision to go part-time when I had Haley. And, you know, at the time, that was not necessarily a popular decision. I had a lot of support. My boss was super supportive. My peers were very supportive. But I know in management where I worked, they were saying, this is not her best idea. This is going to sidetrack her. This is going to slow her down. Her career is not going to be on the same trajectory because she's making this decision. I knew it was 100% the right decision. I didn't question it at all. These three people, I knew immediately that's where I was going to try and balance and spend as much time as I could. But it's a little daunting to have people tell you or to hear you're probably setting yourself back by that decision. Well, I didn't worry about the naysayers. I kind of let it go and I stood my ground and I said, this is going to be what it's going to be. If it takes me longer, it's going to take me longer. And I've talked to many, many women in the industry on this topic. How do you do it? How do you do both well? And whether it's you're having a child or you just want to work on your own terms and work differently, it hasn't really been easy. It's difficult. And it's gotten a little bit better now. Because now things have changed. We were in a really rigid space. You worked in an office, you went 5 days a week. Sometimes if you wanted to leave because it was evening time, you would get a little side eye, like, this is like the second shift. What are you doing? You can't leave yet. But you know, it's been a tremendously hard couple of years, but what it's done is completely blown up so many norms. And my quest to work on the terms that I wanted to work on, I feel like the great news right now is that is actually eminently possible to think about new ways that people can work and think about how they can work on their terms. So I think probably a lot of you read Rashad Tabakawala, and he publishes amazingly well-written, brilliant articles consistently. So he did me the favor of publishing one this weekend, and it had a perfect quote in it for what I'm talking about right now. Now I'm gonna have to put glasses on because I cannot see in this dim light, but I'm gonna do it. So Rashad said, "Our thoughts about work today are like champagne corks. They have swelled with new possibilities and will no longer fit into 2019 vintage." Right? I mean, I love that. I love that. The world is open to new possibilities. It's what I was striving for, and I think it's now possible. You know, 2 short years ago, I started at the Ford Motor Company, could not be happier about that choice, but I was expected to go back and forth every week. I needed to be in the office. To be an effective leader, you have to be in the office with your team every day. And I didn't know differently. I presumed the same because that's what our expectations were. So the great news about what has happened over the past couple of years, as we've all seen, we can be tremendously effective remotely. Not that we want to do it every day and all the time. It is so good to be together. But to have that option, to open our eyes to a new possibility of how we could work, to think about how we can have people fit work into their lives instead of their lives into work. It is a whole new way. So I look out at my 22-year-old who's just starting in this industry, and I think, that generation's going to change this up. They're going to keep moving this forward. They're going to think about how are these new ways of working going to go? Can I work 9 to 5 most of the time? But sometimes I'm going to work 5 to 9. Can we have meetings in different ways than we do it right now? It's going to change. And I am really excited to support how that can work for people. I mean, right now we have people who work in all parts of the country, and we can get amazing, diverse, awesome talent because we can let them be where they are and still work for our companies. So I'm fine. Like, I feel like it's just, it's great. And when people want to do what I did and work on their terms, now there is more opportunity than ever. I think it's tremendous and it's really exciting. So I'm going to take that as a great silver lining for what has gone on over the past couple of years. Okay, I'm almost done now. I went to an industry conference a few years ago, and I had some tremendous advice that I heard there that I thought I would share with you. You thought you guys might find this interesting. So when we're thinking about these endless possibilities, the doors that are now open and what comes next, often we start thinking about, you know, what is next for me? What would inspire me? What's my superpower and how should I use it? Karna, no worries. I'm not trying to find a new gig. I love my gig. This is more about how to think about what would be inspiring for me next. And a lot of times we're in a place where what would be my next best thing? What am I really excellent at? How do I identify that? And we sit down and we make a list of the positive things that are great about us and places we might work. Sometimes it's still daunting. We're still not sure. Well, this woman who was at this event, she had just started at a startup and she wasn't sure a startup was her next best move. But the way she got that answer is she said, I want a revelation that comes from understanding how other people see me. How do other people perceive me? Because maybe that'll help me get better intel on what I should do next, what would really inspire me. So she did 80 coffee dates, 80 coffee dates over 6 months. Who has time for that? I don't know, but she made it happen. And she asked, and these are people that knew her professionally well, she asked each person the same 3 questions. First, what do you come to me for? Second, when have you seen me the happiest? And third, what am I better at than my peers? And based on the answers she got from people and what they fed to her, it helped guide her to, you know what, my next best move would be at this company versus that. Now, I haven't gone on 80 coffee dates and I'm not looking for my next job, but I thought I would share that because I thought that was so insightful to think about if you're stuck and you're not sure. That was really great advice. And I've had some conversations that have just kind of helped mold what would be great for me and what should I think about doing. So I thought I would pass that on. I thought it was a good story. Okay, I'm bringing it full circle now. We're closing it down. I'm happy to tell you that I kept my promise to my dad. I still have the same fire burning. I still strive to work really hard and be good at whatever I try and do. And I've never had anybody change what I know is best for me. It feels good to be true to what I promised my dad when I was 23 years old on my driveway before I drove across the country. It's kept me grounded. It's kept me feeling really good about what I do. And it's kept me in the company of all of you. So I'm tremendously grateful for this honor. I'm truly humbled by all the love and affection that I've felt. I thank everybody. I feel like everybody's been in my cheering section. I want to be in yours right back. I thank all of you for all the love that you've been showing me. And I do hope that I can continue to give it right back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marla, for that inspirational speech. And let's give her one more round of applause. So we've come to the end of a wonderful evening and an amazing celebration for our rising stars and for Marla. And there was a lot of effort that was put into this special event and even behind the scenes to make this night a success. And so on behalf of the Chicago Advertising Federation, we'd like to thank in particular Carla Watson and Karna Crawford from the Ford Motor Company for their help since day one of planning this special event. So let's give them a round of applause. I also like to thank my fellow Ad Woman of the Year committee members, Joan Biadelli of Leo Burnett, and also Kiwi Sylvain of the Trade Desk. So Joan and Kiwi, they couldn't be here tonight, but their efforts helped make this evening really, really special. So let's give them a round of applause. And where would we be if we didn't have our Chicago AdFed team? So please, board, stand, if you will, just so that we can also recognize you again. So all Chicago AdFed board members, please stand. We would also like to extend a special thank you to Danielle, Kathy, Emily, and Heather for putting this special event together. And as many of the famous sayings go, that's all, folks. So we hope to see you at another one of the Chicago AdFed events. And please have a good night. C8